You know what the main difference between Democrat and a Republican? Main difference is Republicans are really into fairness. They really want people to work for what they deserve and, get paid for the work that they do and not get any kind of free handouts. They don't want to see that unfairness in the world where someone is just skating by, not working, and getting free handouts. Makes them pretty angry. Democrats, on the other hand, are really more into social justice. They really want to see those who are not doing well do well. So good for them. They're nice enough to want to help out those less fortunate. Of course, sometimes it turns into, like the Republicans claim and know to be true, that people would take advantage of the system. So less government is better for Republicans because they don't want to see their tax dollars go to waste. Sure, I get that. Democrats want to see more social equality, so they would think that it should be okay for those who make money to pay into a government that can help out those less fortunate. Now, the irony is that that's kind of Jesus' whole teaching, is to give to those that are less fortunate. And at the same time, Republicans, more often than not, are the more Christian group of people. So it's funny how the Christian group is less likely to follow Jesus' teachings. I get that the main argument back would be that it's not the government's job to do charity work. It's your community, your neighbors who are supposed to help out the poor. People should be giving to charity with their own goodwill. It's not charity if it's taken. Taxes are forcibly taken, so that's different. Well, that makes sense to me. So I think that it'd be great if we had more community, sharing, more community help for those less fortunate. It makes people feel really good when they're able to help out those less fortunate. And I think they want that opportunity most of the time. Those that, really are just looking out for themselves, they can choose to not give. They can choose to keep everything they have to themselves. And you know what? They have that right. There's no mandate to give what you earned to anyone else. So, really what I'm getting at here is the whole charity thing usually arises from the church. There's a lot of churches that will take donations and put that money to good use. We would hope. And the worst thing ever is when you see corruption in the church. People taking that money and just doing greedy things with it. We want to see our charitable giving go to those who need it most. So, I think there's a lot of good charities out there. But I would love to see that be a political issue. There's a big separation between church and state. Sure, the main reason being that we don't want the state to endorse one religion over others, because that would be favorable to one group over the other. The state is supposed to be impartial and is supposed to help everybody. But why not religion also? Religion should also help everybody. If the church is truly supposed to be helpful, then a good church in my eyes would help out people of any spiritual beliefs. We're all entitled to our own spiritual beliefs, but the main difference is that I see in spirituality is someone who wants to look out for themselves, someone who wants to look out for others. There should be no distinction between the name of the church, your group versus other groups. If we want to make a world that works for everybody, then let's do it. Let's promote harmony. Let's promote community, helping everybody. want people who are going to be not in a situation that they're going to be forced into a life of crime or something like that. Let's give people a reason to appreciate the world, appreciate humanity. Let's work towards a better humanity. I think that's what we all want to see is a community and a humanity that is looking out for each other. So if we're looking out for each other, then let's look out for everybody. As soon as we start dividing up lines and choosing favoritism, then that gives the unfavored group or the minority a feeling of outcast, being marginalized. Then they feel they have, that just builds up resentment and anger, and then that turns into them fighting back against the system that doesn't work for them, right? So it's pretty easy to understand in my eyes. I'm driving right now, so let me get over so I can get onto the right road. But to continue the conversation, I think a lot of this division stems from the Old Testament of the Bible. The Old Testament of the Bible is really, really disgusting in my eyes. I think it's all about God's chosen people fighting to, stay alive in that community that they lived in back then, which was pretty harsh. And I think I see the world maturing and evolving in a way that we're able to help out more and more people. And I think we're at the point right now where it's practically like a new age, the age of enlightenment, or the age of communication. We're at a point in human history where we can actually communicate with anybody around the globe, and so we should be able to effectively communicate so that we can spread the love and spread the charity to everyone who needs it. The opposite end of that would be a competitive spirit, and I get that there's some people that have a more competitive spirit. They want to win, they want to make more than others, they want to have more than others, and really that really comes down to the separation between Democrats and Republicans. The Republican front runner is Donald Trump. He is really, really into winning. He's really into having more than others. And those that want to be like him are going to vote for him because they like him. But they're not going to get any help from it. I guess it's the winners that'll vote for Donald Trump, and the people who want help that are going to vote Democrat. Democrats are basically more into helping out those less fortunate, and that comes down to really something that the church should get into. The Christian church, though, does it with a favor to ask back. They'll help you out as long as you understand that their church is the one that is helping, and then they ask, well, why don't you call yourself Christian? And you know what? Giving that's not giving. That's asking for your support for a gift. So that's why I can't really stand behind the whole Christian organization, because it's just a label, and it's just, as soon as you label one group, I don't know, it promotes this divisiveness. So if your goal is to, create a world that works for everybody, then rethink your spirituality. Your spirituality can include everybody. We're all humans, we're all here on earth. That is a label that we can all agree on. There's really no reason to divide. So that's my message for today. Thanks for listening. Later.